Welcome back, dear viewers. Now it's time for our daily press review, and we are delighted to be joined here in the studio with Mr. Amr Abdel Rahman. He's a political analyst. Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you and the dear viewers.
And we start off from اليوم السابع newspaper, and we read the following headline. President Fattah al-Sisi meets with the Minister of Electricity. President Fattah al-Sisi held a meeting on Monday with Minister of Electricity, Dr. Mohammed Shaker. During the meeting, the minister presented a report on the repercussions of the liberalization of the Egyptian pound exchange rate and the recent raising the fuel prices on the electricity sector. Shaker noted to the increase in subsidy value which the state provides to the electricity sector as a result of these decisions. Also Monday, President Sisi held a meeting with Minister of Defense Defense Minister Lieutenant General Sidki Subhi, Minister of Interior General Magdi Abdel Ghaffar, Head of the Armed Forces Operations Authority, Head of the Military Intelligence, as well as Head of the General Intelligence. During the meeting, they reviewed the latest security developments, with the President reviewed the report on the measures carried out by the armed forces within the framework of the right of the Martyr operation to cleanse Sinai from terrorist elements and to consolidate security and stability. Also Monday, the President met with the Portuguese ambassador to Cairo, Magdalena Fischer. She said that the expected visit of President Fattah al-Sisi to Portugal will strengthen cooperation and coordination between the two countries in economic and cultural fields, describing the relations between the two countries as historic and solid. Okay, sir, first let's focus on your evaluation for the recent economic measures taken by the government.
Well, first let me please stress on saluting those martyrs of the army and the police who are inspiring us to fight even harder and with all proud to defend our own country and land and the people.
Yes.
As for those procedures taken, we have to divide between two lines. Liberating the price of the Egyptian pound is one thing. It was a very successful decision. The other part of the procedures, which is concerning raising the prices of fuel, it was necessarily to be taken. Now we understand why it was taken, that decision. Now we know that we are prevented to have our own rights in the contract we have achieved with Aramco company in Saudi Arabia, which has cut its supplies of oil to Egypt without any explanation. That means we need to depend ourselves on ourselves. We need to depend on ourselves. If you really believe we should build a strong and independent country, we should depend on ourselves and never think of needing, but giving to others, not expecting to have anything from any other part, any other country, even if it was a friend country. If we need to build a country that can be the leading role in the territory, in the region, we should forget totally about needing to have any contracts with those who do not respect the value of a contract.
And the significance of President Fattah al-Sisi coming a visit to Portugal, as we just read that the Portuguese ambassador to Cairo gave a statement, and she described the relations between the two countries as historic and solid.
Well, of course, we are maintaining our achievements in the foreign affairs policies, which has a very great path those past 3 years. Right now we are in the leading role diplomatically in the region. We have that rising role around the day, I might just say. Too many countries now are really reaching out for deepening the cooperation with Egypt. at all levels. Now it's Portugal, yesterday it was China, and we must stress on something very important here, that we have made a contract with the yuan currency with China. That means we are on the way to break that that umbrella of being a follower to the dollar currency. This is a very important step to reach and to accomplish our independence. If we need to make an independent country, that means an independent economy.
Yes. And moving to Al Shuruq newspaper, and we read Prime Minister holds a number of meetings. Prime Minister Sharif Ismail stressed on Monday that the government is committed to develop the slums. Within 2 years upon the directives of President Fattah al-Sisi, the Prime Minister gave his directives to allocate £6 billion to develop the unsafe slum areas, which will contribute to improve the lives of 63,000 Egyptian families. Also on Monday, the Prime Minister headed a meeting on securing land ports. During the meeting, the Prime Minister stressed the need to tighten control over all ports and intensify inspection and face any goods and materials smuggling, especially the strategic ones, as that represent a threat to national security. Ismail also stressed on the need to put a detailed timetable for linking the ports to each other. So first, let's focus on the government's efforts to develop slums.
We are watching just a revolutionary turn in our economy. And we have watching a very positive moves along this path.
Yes.
I believe this government, although too many criticizes against that government, it is proving it's going further and further, despite that legacy of problems and barricades along the road. But still, it's marching on and accomplishing too many important steps. And that, of course, has expressed itself by the approval statement of the parliament towards the government.
Yes. And moving to Al Wafd newspaper, and we read Parliament Speaker meets President of the French Senate. Speaker of the House of Representatives, Dr. Ali Abdel met on Monday with the President of the French Senate, Gerard Larcher, and his accompanying delegation at the House of Representatives premises. Dr. Abdel welcomed the delegation and praised the distinguished level of parliamentary and political relations between the two countries. He also praised France's position toward the developments that Egypt has witnessed in the past years and its support for the Egyptian people's choices. Dr. Abdel also referred to the Egyptian efforts in the fight against terrorism, adding that Egypt plays a pivotal role in combating terrorism on behalf of Europe and the world. For his part, the President of the French Senate expressed his happiness to visit Cairo, stressing Egypt's pivotal role in the region. He also praised the great and positive efforts exerted by Egypt in the field of economic reforms. So what is the significance of this visit by the President of the French Senate, and how do you evaluate Egyptian-French relations at this stage?
Well, it signifies a very important meaning here, that the Egyptian parliament now has its role, its own role, respectable role, all over the world.
Yes.
Maybe we can say that this is the first free elected parliament in our recent history, for decades before.
Yes.
And now it's ready to take its role and express strongly the Egyptian situation, along with too many levels of political, economical, even military situations of the Egyptian front. It can express our situation from cases and crises like in Syria, which we are standing by and supporting by the First Arabic Army in Syria and the state and the people's choice. As in Yemen, as in Libya, standing beside the legitimate government there, despite the non-Muslim terrorist group is trying to jump upon authority in Egypt and in Libya and try to threaten our national security by the western borders. The parliament now has its own tongue to speak for itself as a strong association, an Egyptian association respected all over the world.
Yes. And still with the اليوم السابع newspaper, and we read the following headline: Clinton and Trump race for support on eve of U.S. elections. Democrat Hillary Clinton and Republican Donald Trump raced on Monday to sway undecided voters in a tight U.S. presidential race that has Clinton with a narrow lead, according to opinion polls. With only 1 day left before Election Day, the Clinton campaign was boosted by unexpected FBI announcement that it stood by its July decision not to press any criminal charges in an investigation of Clinton's email practices. The details in the following report.
Election candidates Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump brought their brutal White House battle to a crescendo, their campaigns peaking with huge rallies showcasing starkly different visions for the future of the world's greatest power. As foreign capitals looked on in grim suspense, and with Tuesday's poll hanging in the balance, the 69-year-old Democrat Hillary Clinton gathered a galaxy of political and show business star power on Monday night in Philadelphia, birthplace of the Republic, to urge unity. Clinton declared that tomorrow we face the test of our 40,000 people, a record for her in a campaign where she has maintained a narrow opinion poll lead but has had less success than her Republican opponent in turning out passionate crowds. She added there is a clear choice in this election, a choice between division or unity, an economy that works for everyone or only for those at the top, between strong, steady leadership or a loose cannon who could put everything at risk. At the same time, Donald Trump, the 72-year-old tycoon who turned his Republican Conservative Party into a vehicle for populist bombast, concluded a last-gasp tour of swing states by painting his rival as a doomed to defeat and the corrupt creature of a discredited elite. Trump promised to end years of betrayal, tear up free trade deals, seal the border, halt the drug trade, and exclude all Syrian refugees. Some 40 million Americans have already cast their ballots in states that allow early voting, and tens of millions more will turn out on Tuesday to end what has become a long, grueling, and divisive campaign.
Back to you, Mr. Amr, and still we are following on the U.S. elections. And what are your expectations?
It's not a matter of expectations, as it's a matter of a shameful battle. This is the most shameful battle of elections of all history of mankind. I've never seen, and anyone can claim the same. No one has ever seen such dishonorable ways to fight against the other opponent, which is from the same country. I believe that the difference between Clinton and Trump is between that man or that person or that candidate who is prepared or capable of destroying his country, and the other one who is capable of destroying the whole world. The first, Trump, of course, he's not qualified at all to be the president of the greatest country in the world. On the other hand, Clinton is just trying to complete the Sykes-Picot reform in the Middle East, trying to maintain the chaos, conspiracy against the Middle East, trying to complete dividing our countries in the Middle East. So in the Middle East can be the torch for or a start for the World War III. That what Hillary has come to accomplish. I believe that too many scandals was revealed by too many sources towards the two candidates. And I believe too many Americans now feel the same anger within inside that those both candidates do not deserve to represent the face of America. This is from an American side. I'm talking about if this is an American side who is thinking and trying to imagine, trying to choose. The both sides are it's just like choosing between cholera and plague. Something very shameful, as I told you. And I believe the consequences on the long run, of course, I believe that Clinton might just take that post after supporting, unfairly supported, being supported by the Zionist media in the US and other countries against Trump, as if she is the angel and he is the devil. As a matter of fact, they are both two faces of one devil.
Yes. Okay, Mr. Amr Abdel Rahman, political analyst, thank you for being with us today.
Well, thank you for having me.
And now, dear viewers, we'll go for a short break and we'll be back with the breakfast show, so stay tuned.